Hey guys, welcome Collective to another video from Worker Light. My name is Patricia. So this is, by the way, I just heard transparency. Yeah, this is, by the way, the second video, and I will probably do it the same way that I've been doing the first video. This is a very because I heard transparency. This is a very good disclaimer because I was really hesitating continuing the video. So I just stopped it and I kind of felt like, okay, I've been doing this video. Maybe this was for me. No, it was for the collective. So, okay. Good. I know what I'm talking about today. I do feel that the reason why they asked me to do this video is because I've been pulling the Ten of Wands. It's a little bit like letting go of a burden. And yeah, that's actually pretty much what the Ten of Wands is about. It's like the Two of Wands clarified by the Ten of Wands, you know, taking the decision, being a little bit like it feels to me like taking the decision and the lead in the same time. And on the other side, I had the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles clarified by the Queen of Swords. So it's very much about my internal security and following really my intuition. And then I had the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands was kind of like saying like, well, whatever will be, will be. So, okay. Up front, I have been intuitively very much drawn towards the camera today. I was hesitating because I felt like, man, I'm today like in a very vulnerable space, to be honest, even though I had like a lot of beautiful situations today, but I'm in general in a pretty vulnerable state, okay? So what was going on the previous 8 days? Well, as you may perceive, I moved. It's a little bit like the first checkpoint before I am really heading into my flat. The background is that I'm currently in a divorce, and it is fine. Yeah, we are really dealing very mature with the situation, and I could not be more proud, really. But nonetheless, it is very emotional. It is about letting go, it is about detachment a little bit, and it is about, and I do really feel that the collective really needs something like that because it's important. It is about boundaries, not walls. Okay? Building boundaries, but not walls. Okay? We don't want to close ourselves like up emotionally. That is the point. There is a very thin line between the both of them. Okay? So I have never been talking about like my private life, besides the fact that many of you guys know now that I'm a mom of 4 kids. So the point why this is a very vulnerable space that I'm in right now is because I'm facing the most biggest fear that I have ever had, like since like I'm a mom. Okay, so a little bit of background. I have always been carrying this belief system within me that I'm not a good mother. And I kind of realized that it actually cannot be my belief because there is no real evidence to this assumption. It is an assumption in the end, if there is no evidence. And I know that I overtook this fear of not being a good mom from the women of my family. So the point is, so me carrying this belief in me, and actually was in a relationship where I didn't feel like 100% arrived. Nonetheless, this man is really a great father. In fact, there is no reason for me like being kind of um, in an attention space in regards to the situation. We are handling the situation very mature. But what it is really about is that my piercing is not straight. What it's really about is that I'm leaving the flat. I'm like moving out, and the kids will stay with their father. So I've had like the whole years, I just didn't get out because I believe like everyone will see that how bad of a mom I am if I'm moving out, and they're having bad opinions about me and like this. And the point is that the past 8 days, you know, they really confronted me with this belief like every single day. And it was so important because in the confrontation, or in me confronting myself energetically, or me being confronted with situations where are kind of arguments with my kids, or kind of um, communication that was very much based on victimhood and on lack mentality. And I found myself in these situations pretty often. But in being confronted with those situations, I always got the opportunity to take this inner strength and inner security that I've been building throughout the past 6 years, I would say roughly 6 years. And this security, it carried me through these situations because I always did some sort of reality check. Is this feeling that I have right now really me? Is this really talking me, or is this maybe the fear that I was always so afraid of being confronted with when I'm moving out? Will my kids still love me after this? Or will I have big fights with my ex-husband? And the thing is, like, it is not realistic because, first of all, what happened the previous 7 years is that me and him, we have been grown not only as a couple, but individually, we have been growing. And from a realistic point of view, there is absolutely no evidence for this thing could like act out. Okay? So I was like continuously being confronted not only with the situation, but first and foremost with the fact that it's not what I think that it is. And that is like really, I had so many eye openers the previous days. So many of them, so many synchronicities that it was almost ridiculous. And I always knew that I'm safe. I always knew that I'm safe, even though the worst thing I could have ever imagined happened. That was my worst case scenario. That was absolutely, there is no other worst case scenario in this world for me. I could lose my job. I could really lose all my friends. I would not, but it would not ever touch me that deep, like the situation of being maybe confronted of being not a good mom. There was so deeply rooted inside of me this fear that I was so afraid of facing this fear that I was staying actually in a relationship for years where I really didn't feel that I belong in. Okay? It's not that I had a bad marriage or something like that. That's not the point. It is about me taking responsibility for what it is that I want. And the more I came to the awareness of who I am, the more I really came to the awareness that this person that once married this man is not the same one. It's not anymore really like what I really am. And there was another fear that I had of feeling abandonment. But I have been growing so much in the past six plus minus 2 years that now my inner security is way more stronger than the fear that I had. And I consciously say fear that I had because every time that I was facing these situations, I felt that that is not me. This is not me anymore. This fear really does not be. It felt like outside of me. And another point is, I have been talking to a lot of people like in the previous days. I had a lot of beautiful conversations. Even today, when I was just changing the contract for my mobile phone and because I was moving and I need more, more what is this? More internet. I don't know how to translate this in English. We say ich brauche mehr Gigabyte. So anyways, so I've been calling this company and I had on the phone, like I called twice. The first time I called and I was not sure which mobile I should take. And the second time I called and then I had this employee and it was crazy. We just kind of we just kind of like clicked initially, and it was really directly. I really felt a very open energy from him, and I do really feel that he felt it from me too. And it was such a fun conversation where we in the end like ended up really like talking about like, because he asked me like for what I'm needing it. So if you're watching it right now, hi. And I don't like I'm doing YouTube, and he was asking me like in the end like, okay, and like how and what are you talking? I was like, in the first I was so hesitant really talking, and I really learned from him in this day. It was so brave. He was so brave, really. The point is that he was asking me what kind of stuff like I'm doing on YouTube, and I was saying like life coaching. That's actually not literally what I'm doing actually. Yeah, it is, but I'm not a life coach. But what should I say? I'm channeling? Or what, I was really asking myself, what should I tell him? That I'm channeling? That I'm reading tarot cards? That I'm doing astrology? And I'm thinking that there aliens exist, and that I'm channeling the Pleiades and the Arcturians? That I felt like it was completely inadequate if I'm doing this. So I told him like I'm life coaching, and he was like so open, and like it was a little bit like he was saying like, oh, call me crazy, but I believe in this and that. And I was like, damn, you're so brave. It's like it's so brave from you in this moment. Just tell me openly what you believe in, even though you don't really like from your brain state really like mentally don't know who I am. And my family name is an Arabic family name, so you might not really think that this could be a person you could talk about something like that. But I do feel like he felt the energy, I felt the energy, and there was resonance. We had a lot of chills moments, seriously. But I was so extremely grateful for this moment, that this beautiful energy really carried me through another 3 or 4 hours through the day. And to be honest, I'm currently in a situation where I'm continuously on the other side, really facing a lot of wonderful situations. A lot of wonderful situations. And this is a very good feedback, energetical feedback for me, not only sending it out, but also being open to receive, even though I'm in a pretty vulnerable space in. Okay, and they correct me, they say, I believe I'm in a vulnerable space. Okay, that's actually, yeah, I was convinced I'm in a vulnerable space, but actually it makes absolute sense. So, let me just pull a card. Is there anything else that I should be talking about? Yes or no? Page of Wands. Okay, can you give me a clarifier on the Page of Wands? The Sun. Yeah, that's the message, guys. That is the message. Page of Wands clarified by the Sun. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck, and the Page of Wands is really talking about I will say this word, okay? About new beginnings, and they just push me to say ambition, ambition. Yeah, it's about having the ambition and really having the life force energy within you, because guys, I mean, like, if this is not life force energy, I don't know what it is. This is the Page of Wands, which talks really about passion and new beginnings, adventurous, and the Sun being supported by happiness. That is the point. That is the point. We are all, again, we are talking about the frequency of happiness, okay? And gratitude. It's the same. To me, it's the same. When I'm very happy, I'm also having gratitude. Because, I mean, like, if you're grateful, aren't you feeling happy? So, where's the difference? What was first there, the N or the heck? And, I mean, we know that everything exists both in the same time. We don't have to ask ourselves these questions anymore. It's okay if we do it from time to time, but coming to the awareness constantly that everything happens, first of all, in divine timing. Nothing will happen before you aren't ready, or nothing will ever happen too late. So, when you're energetically receptive, it will happen. There are adjustments being made right now. So for you being in the right, like, it's very funny because they showed me, I heard warp. That's funny, and they showed me a visual of a spaceship. Like there is, you see like outer space, okay, and then there's some sort of a tunnel, okay, and you're kind of drifting, and in this tunnel there's like a push, like a push of energy, so when you're entering in, you're directly being sucked in, and that's this, okay, this is the frequency, the happiness frequency. Anything else, Spirit? The Chariot, absolutely. A very big focus, guys, on really creating balance in order to get out of our head. And there's also a focus on planning. Of course, there's a focus on planning. I've been talking about me kind of, even though I'm not having a flat yet, and I'm like right now living at my parents' house in the basement, which is a very beautiful room, to be honest. I made it very beautiful, and it now carries my energy, and like, you know the joke. So, even though I'm not having the flat yet, I haven't found a flat yet, that's the fun fact. But preparing yourself for this, okay? Well, yeah, they remind me, it's funny. Um, a small background about me, because sometimes I'm getting kind of connections to religious texts. Okay, my background is like, when I was born, my mom decided to not kind of what is this? In German we say Taufe. She want me to decide in which religion or which belief I want to have by myself. So I'm the only kid that didn't got this, like, okay, you are kind of uh, Protestant or Catholic or something like that. Okay. And when I was 13, 14, I decided to revert to Islam. And that's what I did. And I'm not anymore really practicing, but I know a lot about it because I have been actually doing some sort of, how do I say this? When you are trying to convey the message of God to others. That's what I was doing, but not with non-Muslim. I did it with Muslim because I felt like there needs to be more knowledge in there. It's like about more quality instead of quantity. That's what I was about. So, um, and the thing is that they just brought me something from the Quran, which is very interesting because it's the first time that I'm getting this. There is a sentence that says, when you are coming towards me one step, I will come towards you two steps. And this is also very lovely tied to the law of attraction, because that's really what it is. The intention that you're putting out is what you're receiving in return. And the reason why it's very interesting, because the reason why it is being described that way, you come one step towards me, I'm coming two steps towards you, is because we as human beings, we perceive the good things that we do as little. You get what I mean? And I'm getting chills. That's why it is being described from the human point of view, because that's really what happens. We think that we are only putting out, and there is another quote, and there was I really don't want to make it about religion, but it just flows to me right now, and it's very beautiful. There was someone, his name is Imam Ali, he said, you think you're only a little star, but within you lives the universe. And this is the point, because we think we are only a little star. We think that the energy we are putting out is just a little bit. Well, I just told this human being that he or she is beautiful. I just told this human being that he or she, I love him or her. So it's just words. No, guys, it's not just words. It is a lot. So if you listen to other channels where they really encourage you, and I believe at least 2 or 3 of you, because I have been in this place. I've always been asking myself, like when, for example, Lorilla, she was doing a channeling, and they say like, we are so proud of you, what you are doing, and you are doing such a tremendous job. I was like, okay, but what exactly am I doing? Maybe they're not talking about me. Oh, damn, yeah, they are absolutely talking about you. They're absolutely talking about you. When I was doing these channelings, I felt this gratitude from them. I got so emotional when I felt this gratitude that was really channeled through me. It was huge. And believe me, they are so proud of us. Seriously. And we are doing such a great job. We are. We are. We are just not yet perceiving it as such. Okay? Because in order to perceive it fully, we still need to grow. But we will feel it. We already feel it. We already feel this gratitude. And we will continue to rise in this feeling. We are continue to evolve these kind of feelings to get to feel to we will allow ourselves in this evolution to carry more and more light within us. This is the point. Okay? So until then, let's stay grounded. And let's learn as much as we can about ourselves first and foremost. Sometimes through others, and sometimes because we are open to reflect about it. Yeah. Anything else? Yes or no? Eight of Pentacles. Clarify. Four of Cups. Yeah. Well, actually, this is also very much tied to gratitude. Okay, the Four of Cups is like they are really asking you, being very mindful of the work that you do, of the effort that you put in, of the love that you put out, of the balance that you really keep on going, you know, of all of these reflected moments that you have, all of these epiphanies that you have. You really asked to have a look at them because they're teaching you something right now. Really, everything is, you're more than ever aware of what these situations are teaching you. Okay, see it as a treasure hunt. That's what we are being encouraged to. Okay, because this will be when we no longer focus on these three cups that we actually are over, you know, that we actually don't want to have in our life anymore, that we are not able to perceive the cup that is being offered over here, because where your attention goes, your energy flows, guys. Always. And okay, and they give me another quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza is, if you cannot think greater than how you feel, you are thinking in the past. So let's rise above it. Okay? Whew, that was a deep one. Thank you so much for being here. I, to be honest, have no idea how I should name this video. I'm pretty sure that they give me a hint. And yeah, I'm wishing you a great week. See you soon. Stay grounded. Namaste.